All right, folks. All right. Let me say this straight up, man. It's not often in a man's life that they get to sit down and talk to somebody who has inspired him, man. This man is one of the men that I look up to. I really, really respect him. His focus, his determination, tenacity. Just show that. And you know, to think, you know, he's been a shoeshine boy before, man. I mean, he's gone through the ranks, and he's one of the currently the most respected entrepreneurs we have in this country, a great businessman. Let me shut up. Let me invite him. Put your hands together and say a big welcome to Citizen Kofi, Dr. Anwar. You the man, there, back.
Good to see you. Finally. Finally, I'm on the show.
Finally. Welcome to the show, man.
Thank you, my brother. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
and folks, when I talk about one of my inspirers, you'll be thinking, maybe this is like some man who's like so much older than me. We are peers, man, but I respect the man. Show some love, man. Welcome to the show again, man.
Thank you for the introduction, and I respect you too. I mean, when we get this opportunity, we must also let you know how much you are influencing Ghana, how much you are using your talent, your satire, comedic talent, full of lessons for those of us who listen to you attentively. So I think we should also show him some love.
Oh, man. I'm blushing, man. I'm on my ferry, man.
No, but it's true. It's true.
Dr. Mawani, welcome. Thank you for the kind words, but really, really welcome. But looking back, man, did you ever, when shoeshine boy at some time in your life?
Yes. I was a very ambitious young little kid growing up in the village. And
which village was that?
Tikrum, not far from Kumasi, Jusu area. So, you know, young kids, you always want to find something that will take you to the bright lights of the city.
Yeah.
And being a shoeshine boy was something that I enjoyed doing. It made enough money to be able to go to the afternoon cinema show. But it was tedious.
Where did you go to your afternoon
cinema? Odeon, you know, Rex Cinema. You know, so plying the streets of KJTR and all of that. It's when I see the boys by the roadside now, it reminds me of when I was doing some of these things. And in there are gems that we drive past. Because, you know, what they are learning, even though at that rudimentary level, they are learning the skills of business, the skills of talking to people, how to go and negotiate for a small commission, you know. I wish that it could be done in a much better way,
in a more structured,
way, and all of that. Not in the street, but they are doing something. They are not lazy. You know?
Wow. No, I haven't thought about that you're a shoeshine boy, but it's all the rudiments of business are all in there.
Right there, right from it's the seed of it. You know, knowing when to get up early in the morning. That's discipline. You got to get your shoe box ready with the right polishes and the right brushes and the cloth for cleaning it up. So that's preparation. Then you have to be able to assess which route will give you more customers. You know, last week when I went this way, it didn't work, so I'll take this one. Then when you have somebody who seems to like you, you want to, I'll come every week if you like, you know. So you get into some kind of hosting. So they are all, you know, dotting the I's and crossing the T's. And, so I think there are a lot of gifted young people in the city streets, selling things on their head in the sun. And they are, to me, they are assets that we must look at and find a way to really make it work for them and work for the society.
Yeah, show some love. And I was going to ask you, you know, I mean, you talked about being a shoeshine boy, even having enough revenue to get to enjoy a few things, movies here and there. Do those opportunities exist now? Can you do shoeshine and save and hang out and the kind of things that you were able to do with your savings? Can it be done now?
I wouldn't say no. I mean, because basically when you are young, all you have is you and your ability to walk, to talk. So things that need those kind of things, you can do that. I try to have conversations with these young people who do business in the streets. And one day, one of them was wheeling a wheelbarrow full of all kinds of items. So I called and said, let me talk to him. And I was amazed. he said he could make at least, what did he say? Something like 600,000, 60,000, that's about 6,000 Ghana cedis a month selling those items. You know, even that's not a profit, it's not a margin, you say 50% of it, that's not bad, you know. But as much as on his level, he's doing this, he will gravitate to something else and something else and something else. People who are born with those kind of talents and ambition inside them start young to do different things. You know, if you go and read the history of Onassis and all these great men, they do a lot of funny things in the beginning. So I want to say to young Ghanaians, you know, whatever it is that you think you can do at your level, the calling within the belly, you feel it. Get up in the morning and don't waste your life, don't waste your time, and do as much as you can, save a lot of the money, and then move on to the next level.
Wow. Show some love, man. Show some love. The conversation, I had another conversation with you, and you pointed out that how there's so much negativity in the system that it seems to be drowning out potential. You know, how do we get out of that? How would you approach?
I think that's the pathetic part of our life, of the great Gold Coast that became Ghana, that inspired the African continent, that has so many beautiful things written about us, and yet we don't seem to find the right road to travel, and the negativity has become that which is consuming us. We have become like, you know, crabs in a bucket, pulling each other down, instead of working together and seeing that shining city on the hill that we all want to get to. I think we can get there. We can get there. But right now, we all need to accept that there's something fundamentally wrong with us. Not that we were born, there's anything wrong with our birth, there's anything wrong with us as a people, but we have accepted a certain system, a certain mentality, a certain psychology, a certain way of living, a certain way of communicating with each other, a certain level of sensibility that is not positive for creating that amalgam of a society where each and every one of us has a part in it, has skin in the game, and that as we are moving forward and we are progressing, it should benefit everybody. Right now, we have a very stratified, very pyramidal type of society with a few people on the top and a lot of us down here at the bottom. That cannot be a society we take into the future. We have so many young people, as I said, who are not lazy. They are moving from the villages to the city centers. They get up early in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, they are by the roadside. It shows you they are not lazy. They are looking for something to do. And if we don't accept them as an asset and then direct them positively, properly in the right direction, then what do? We are importing all kinds of things, my brother. All kinds of things that we should be making ourselves. And by making things, we are strengthening ourselves. We are creating wealth. We can sell some to other people, you know? I mean, why should we be importing? It's become a cliche. But it's true. Why should we be importing rice when we can grow the rice? Why should we be importing canned tomatoes when we have the ability to grow the tomato and put it in a factory? Why should we be importing fruit juice when we are 5 degrees above the equator, the best soil and the best climatic conditions for growing some of these things? Why should we be doing that?
Why do you think?
Know? Well, I think for me, and I've spent a lot of time, I love this country, and as you do. I mean, and I think we have a beautiful country. So I spend a lot of thinking about the plight of Ghana. Why are we in this mess? So I tell myself, okay, why don't you go and look at the history books? Look at what did other countries do? Countries that were in the same situation with us. Countries that have been colonized before, some have gone through slavery before, you know, and all these things. They've been partitioned, they've been owned, and all of that. Finally rested themselves from colonialism, got their independence. We did the same thing. How come we are still down there and others have gone up? Peel the onion and look behind it. And when you look at it, things that all of us have been saying, you have said some, most of us here have said something. Let us focus on agriculture and get our people doing it. And luckily for us, we have one clear example of what tiny Ghana did with cocoa. Tiny Ghana became the world's largest producer of this crop. It didn't just happen, but it happened because there was an intelligent government policy. You, the farmer, as dense as you may be, and they are not, these are intelligent people. They may not be able to read and write, but that doesn't mean they are stupid. We know you can do this part. You can put the seed in the soil. You can plant. We'll even send you extension officers to come to show you how to do this thing. The right hybrid seeds, how to plant, how to space it, tasseling time, harvest time, soaring shoot disease, how to get it away, all government support. The farmer did his best and did his part. And when you finish, you dry it. I'm saying because I grew up on a cocoa plantation for 21 days. You dry it nicely, and they will give you the sack labeled Ghana cocoa. When the time comes and it's dry, put these beans into this sack. Take it to this location. They weigh it and pay you right there. You understand? That incentivizes the farmer. My father has a huge plantation. He had a lot of kids. He was making a lot of money. The farmer is incentivized because he knows that when I finish it, they will buy from me. Then the sophisticated people will take it from there. They will go to the UK, to the US, sit down with the Hershey's of this world, the Seas Candies of this world, and negotiate a good price. And negotiate how to export these things. So gradually, Ghana became the world's largest producer of this one crop. And we made a lot of money from it. And we are still making a lot of money. We can do that with oil palm. We can do that with maize. We can do that with cassava. There's a lot of things we can do. A programmed approach where each individual person has been seen to offer a certain scale that tails in to do your part here, do your part here. And everybody who is doing their part here is also making money. They're also making money. Now, because they are making money, they have money to buy things, to buy a piece of cloth for their mother, for their wife. And therefore, the cloth seller, too, is also making money. And the cloth seller has enough money to go to the butcher to buy meat. So the guy who is selling meat is also making money. So he's killing more cows. So the guy who is, doing the cow, this is how you build an economy. It is an artificial creation of the mind based on the natural resources the good Lord gave us. So I want to keep saying that. We need to stop the bickering. We need to stop insulting each other.
Yeah.
The cup of party colors and all of that, it must inure to help all of us in the end, not to divide us. Because if Kwame Nkrumah, our first president, spent a great deal of his time uniting Africa, and we cannot unite ourselves within Ghana, then we have no business talking on the African platform.
Show some love, man. and I mean, that's great. Also what people may not know, some do know, you're responsible for bringing Western Union into Africa?
Yes, that's correct.
That must have taken a lot of negotiation skills, eh?
Well, and I tell young people to always cherish the womb from where you came, the womb of your mother. I used to worry when I was in America. I didn't have a lot of money, but looking for some way to send $200 to my mother every month, and then I have some peace of mind. Some $200. You send it through friends, sometimes you don't get there. You send it through the post office, they have X-ray eyes. So one night I was sitting there and said, this country, if somebody wants to send money from New York to Dallas or to Los Angeles, they use this Western Union thing. I couldn't sleep. So the next day, I looked for this company. And then I called. And I said, I may sound a little bit ignorant, but I need your help. Do you have extension of your service to Africa? She said, no. Would you be interested to extend your service to Africa? She said, Africa, I don't think so. So, but I said, just before I hung up, she said, oh, there's a man in Spain that we just hired. I think sometimes he talks about Africa, so maybe you can talk to him. You know how it is.
Yeah,
I know you understand what I'm talking. Anyway, I called this number. Some man came on, he didn't speak good English. He said, Africa, they are not interested.
Wow.
But as I was telling him, he said, send me a proposal. And I always tell young people this. Me, Kofi Amwa, you cannot throw my proposal away. You cannot throw my proposal away. I put in a lot of thinking. I would do a nice proposal. That makes sense. So when he says, send me a proposal, this is my opportunity. So I sent him a proposal. 1 month went by, I didn't hear anything. I called, the number was disconnected. So I called the Western Union again, said, the number you gave me when I dialed, it's not going through. She said, oh, the man quit. But he sent your proposal to the president. Do you understand?
Wow.
He sent my proposal to the president of the company, and he wants to talk to you. So that's the beginning stages. So anyway, I was there one day, they called, can you come? I'm in California, they're in New Jersey. So I said, yeah, I'd like to come. So I went. They picked me up from my hotel in the morning, went there. Beautiful campus, nice building.
Wow.
You know.
Wow.
I went in there, check this out. When I entered his office, the New York Times on his desk, blood red, the map of Africa. AIDS, tribal wars, you know. That day that I got there was the feature on the front page of the New York Times. As soon as I sat down and said, Kofi, I'm very sorry to bring you all the way here. You know, look at it. Yeah. I don't think we can extend our service in Africa right now. Maybe some other day, but not now. Nice guy. So it hurt, but my little money, plane ticket. I went back to California. Went back to California. I don't give up. So I kept thinking, there's got to be a way for me to convince this guy, you know. So, you know, I mean, it's trying to convince him about Ghanaian culture, you know, how the fortunate ones help the less fortunate. You know, we share what we have and all of that. There's a lot of people looking up to us. There's a lot of Africans, not just me, who are looking for a way to send money to their loved ones back home. So this second letter, I guess, touched him. And later on, he told me the story. He said, when he got my letter, he was moved, and that he belonged to a church. And in that church, there were some Africans. So he approached them, asked them if they send money to home. And they confirmed that, yes, we have a lot of difficulty sending money. So my second letter, he called me back, you know. So you don't give up, young people, you don't give up. If you believe in something, there are going to be a lot of no's in your way, but the no's are just stepping stones to the yes. So just keep doing it so long as you believe in it. All right. So when he called me back the second time, it was more fruitful. And the deal was that we don't have any money to pay you. Go get us an agent, and we would decide if we are interested in the agent and all that. Anyway, once he said, I know the door has been opened for me. It is up to me as to how to structure it. So I put together a simple letter agreement, which I am proud to say is at the California Superior Court. In the records of the way I crafted the agreement was almost like a perpetual agreement. And that is not known in legal circles. You can't have any agreement that doesn't have. You see, it's if you really believe in something, and you are also honest and truthful what you're going to do, the signals will be there, and you write something that will protect you and protect everybody. So anyway, they signed it, and I didn't have any money. He said he won't give me any money. I found some money to come to Ghana, my country. I want to start here. No bank was interested. You know, I tried and tried and tried and tried. Wow. And I had a friend who knew the manager of Agricultural Development Bank. So we were able to convince him. He took it to his board. He said, we don't want to invest any money. You can start it. We'll try it for 6 months if it works. So I said, fine. Anyway, listen to me, young people. Listen to me carefully. I'm not saying that to brag or whatever, but to share pieces of myself with you, because I think that a lot of people have a lot of talent, God-given talent. They have ambitions to succeed, but a lot of times they give up too easily. Don't give up if you believe in something. Anyway, after we got the ADB to agree and we entered into an agreement, and Western Union now has to come and install their system in Ghana, we found out that the technology that should enable this installation did not exist in Ghana.
And if you can hold it right a second, we're going to go for a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to take it right from there. All right.